from Create with Scrimping Mummy. So I'm here to share the tutorial for the March Journaling J.O.Y journal. So for part of Journaling J.O.Y, J.O.Y stands for Journal Our Year. Along with my Ko-fi subscribers, we make a journal every month, and every month I give them a slightly different style of cover. So this is the tutorial for March's cover. So we're making it out of chipboard. It's quite simple, but we're going to have this lovely element. Now I have not done my signatures yet. I've only done the cover. So the following tutorial will run through again how I make my chipboard covers using the fabric tape. Okay, and then it's going to show you this pop out element. Tutorial on the pop out element. Okay, nothing else. That's all the tutorial is about the cover and explaining how we're making it and some bits of information that you need to know for forward planning, because I've not designed the rest of it. Well, I've not finished designing the rest of it. It's still in my head. So here's the cover. We've got a pocket here, and I've just added this journaling card for just to show you that it's a pocket. Okay, it's not necessarily staying there, but I like the idea of having the March monthly in some description showing there. Okay, I've very simply decorated the spine and the back with some paper piecing and a decorative punch border. I'm just putting this punch inside because there's no signature in it. So the front element here, again, it's not finished because I've got to decide on what kind of closure, whether I want a closure just for the pop-up element or I want the closure to work on the whole, like the whole cover. So I've not, I'm still thinking about that. But this is what our journal cover is going to do on our front cover. It's going to pop up like so. So it's going to give you a beautiful decorative element. Okay, so like I say, I've not decided if we're putting a closure just on this bit or if it's going to incorporate for the whole journal. Not decided yet. So this here, so you can either play with your beautiful decorative papers, or you can add plain photo mats there, 4x6, and have photos. Okay, and then that's just the inside of the journal. I've not finished it yet. So if you want to see how I've made the cover and the tutorial for this beautiful pop-up element, keep watching and let's get creating. Okay, so I'm doing a voiceover here and speeding it up because I've done this process lots of times. So the two covers, front and back, need to measure 8.5 by 6 and the spine is 8.5 by 1.5. As you can see, I'm using fabric tape. I waffled on a bit, so I've fast forwarded it and I have done a voiceover. So the fabric tape's easy to find. Search for acetate fabric tape. And I always use the one with the backing on. It just makes it far easier when you come to want to cut in it. Okay, and so I've cut 4 pieces the same height as the chipboard, not going over, you don't want any overlap, and you place that on about halfway, and you do the same to hold on the spine, so you've 2 pieces there. Then you want a long piece for the top and bottom, and these need to be the same width as your tape, so not chipboard to chipboard, tape to tape. Okay, the fabric tape just makes the process a lot quicker, there's a lot less bulk, and when you master it, it's fantastic. But you can supplement this with cardstock strips, which would need to measure 1.5 inches or 1 inches minimum in width, or you can do a full wrap. I do have tutorials on that on my channel. Very, very easy. I have added 1/4 inch tape between the spine and the cover so that we've got a nice gap, and we're not covering over those today. Normally we cover over them with more tape, but here we're going to leave the backing on because we're going to do hidden sewn signatures. So there's going to be a layer of cardstock over the top of there, so we're going to leave that tape backing on. So you want 1/4 inch away from the edges of the cardstock and cut at an angle. 1/4 inch. Get a ruler and a pen and measure it to make sure you don't cut it too short. This will ensure that the corners of your covers are wrapped nicely, and it doesn't really matter which side you start with, but I find I end up with tidier results personally if I start with the shorter sides and then do the longer. So just there, you just need to push that little corner in and make sure it's stuck down, and then you'll get a nice neat corner. Okay, the more you practice with this stuff, the better you'll get. It's fantastic stuff, and you can get it fairly cheap on AliExpress or Temu. You can purchase it on Amazon, but you will find it is over the £10 mark. I think the most I've ever paid for it is about £5, and you get 30 metres. It goes an awful long way, so it's worth investing in and having a play with. Makes your life easier. Okay, and I think mine is about 35mm wide. Alright, so that's all you need to know. If you want to see the process slowed down, you can watch one of my previous videos where I go through it in a slower fashion. Okay, so for our pop-up element, this is based on a card fold that I've done 100 times, and I've seen other people use it in journals and albums, and I just thought it'd be fun to try. So you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. So the front piece, and you need to mark it front after you've cut it, needs to measure 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, and then a back piece, so once you've cut it right back so you don't get confused, needs to measure 10 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so the first one, 11 3/4 by 8 1/4, 10 1/4 by 8 1/4. So you get your front piece, and the first thing you want to do, and I've prepped mine ahead of time, is draw yourself a 1-inch border all the way around. So get a ruler. If you've got a clear see-through one like this, go to the 1-inch mark and draw a line on all 4 sides. Okay, then you want to grab your scoreboard, and with the 11 3/4 side facing upwards, grab a score tool. Okay, and where these marks intersect, okay, where that intersects there, that is going to be 1 inch down and 1 inch across. So you want to score, and you want to score down to where your next intersection ends, wherever. So you're going from box cross to box cross and stopping. You're not scoring all the way down or all the way from the top. And you want to do the same at the other end. If I can get it in the groove right. Take your time, because you don't want to slip. Okay, so you're going from pencil line to pencil line. Okay, and then you want to go to 1 5/8. So this one you've done 1 5/8. So 1 2 3 4. So it's the little mark after the 1 1/2. Okay, 1 5/8, and just go down to the first score line. I'm terrible at this. You know, when you've got to, so down to there, 1 5/8, and then you are scoring again only between the pencil lines. Okay, then we're going to score at 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 here, but you're only going to score the top band and the bottom band, not the inner part. Okay, so 3 3/4 is there, and I'm going to stop at my pencil line. Okay, and then I'm going to come down. I'm going to use my ruler to help me, because I won't be able to get it straight. And I'm going to score at the bottom half. So that's at 3 3/4. Okay. Then we're going to go at 5 7/8, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So it's 1 mark before the 6. Okay, and you're going to score again from pencil mark to pencil mark. Is that right, or are we going the whole way? Can never remember. I think we need to go the whole way on that one. 5 7/8. Yes. So top to bottom on that one. 5 7/8. I've done it wrong. I've scored on the wrong line. Push it back out. I've scored on the wrong line. Let me get my bone folder. I'm not wasting my cardstock. I'll push that score line out with a bone folder on the back, and I'll do it again. 5 7/8 needs to be here. Okay, score all the way top to bottom. Okay, then you want to score at 8 inches and only on the top and bottom bands. So 8 inches down to the pencil mark. Okay, and then let me just, I'm really bad at this, you know, when it's not lined up. I'm just going to double check 8 inches is there. I'm really bad at it because my eyes are wonky as it is. 8 inches is there. Okay. Yeah, and then we want to just turn the whole thing around. Okay, and we're going to score at 1 5/8 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it's there. 1 5/8, and only from pencil mark to pencil mark. Okay, so 1 5/8 is there. I'm going to come down to there. Take your time with this because it can be tricky, you know, when you're not just going whoom straight top to bottom. Just take your time. Okay. So what we want to do now is, I'm going to bring my trimmer in. Top and bottom on this length here, we're going to turn it on its side, and we're going to cut the 1 inch, where the 1 inch band intersects, and we've done the scoring too. We're going to score from the 1 inch mark down to 1 inch from the bottom, which will be 10 3/4. So you score cutting from 1 inch to 10 3/4 there, and you're doing the same at that side. Okay, and that's the only cutting you do, the rest is scoring. So let me put it in. If I put it into my scoreboard on the 1 inch mark, then I know that I'm 1 inch, and then I'm going to use my blade to go between those marks. I've not done bad. Put it in at that side, I've got 1 inch, put it up against the 1 inch, and then only cut from 1 inch down to 10 3/4. Okay, if you've done all of your scoring beforehand, I'm just going to lift it up so I can see, because I've got a little pointer mark on my trimmer that helps me. Okay, make sure my paper's in there straight and down to that bottom score mark. Okay, and so what that does is that cuts just the top and the bottom. So then you want to do some scoring. Okay, so first thing you want to do is top and bottom there, nip those in. Okay, and then that middle one wants folding in half. Okay, just give that a quick burnish. Okay, and then you grab this. The first score line you're scoring towards you, the second score line you're scoring away from you. So towards me, burnish, away from me, burnish. Turn it around, do the other thing, lift it up. 2 score marks, first one fold towards you, second one fold away. So towards, creasing it at the back, fold away. When we've done all of the scoring, we'll fold it flat and give it a really good burnish. So we've got that now. So where we nipped that, and we nipped that, okay, so that was folded up, or that is a mountain, and this one is a valley, so you're folding it down and give it a nip. And the same here, folding it down, give it a nip. This side, valley fold, give it a nip. Here, valley fold, give it a nip. Okay, and then you've got this like pop-up book page. So now you should be able to very carefully fold it all. It should all fold flat. Okay, line those edges up before you give it a good crease. Let me just check. Okay, and you can give it all a good burnish. Let me get my burnish tool. Right, I'm going to give this an extra burnish. And here. And here. Turn it over. And give it all a squeeze. Okay, you can't see where I made the mistakes. It's going to be covered in paper anyway. Don't waste your cardstock. Now at this point, if you've used pencil like me, you might want to rub your pencil marks out. Okay. Then you get your second piece, which is your back. And all you're going to do here is you're going to score it in the middle. So you're going to score it at, what we're scoring it at, 5 1/8, which is here. I think is that the middle? And that should just fold in half. If I've done the measure, yeah. And burnish. Okay. Then all you need to do, I mean, if you want to lay paper on the back, you can. I think I'm going to leave mine black because you're not going to see very much of it. Okay, I'm going to just grab, because I don't want to have to do this again. This is my first attempt for my actual project. I'm not doing it a million times. I'm just going to rub these out. This is my first attempt at doing this, but I have made this style of card before, so kind of knew what I was doing. I'm just going to rub my pencil marks out. I'm just going to rub them out where I know the paper will show, to be honest. And I'll just do the whole thing. I won't be lazy. Okay. Get rid of them pencil marks. I don't want them showing. Right, so get rid of that. And now what you want to do is you want to glue this to your back piece. So when you're gluing, what we're going to glue is we're gluing just this, like, I don't know, what is it? This shape here. On that side and on the other side. So just these bands here. Okay, and then you're going to line them up corner to corner, top to bottom. Okay, it's not going to, and then when it all shuts, it'll fold. And when it's open, it's popped up. Sometimes things are so ridiculously simple, it's hard to explain them so that you can understand what I'm on about. So I'm going to glue one side, and I'm going to get one side straight first, because I really, really want to try and make sure these are lined up properly. I don't want it to look like a dog's dinner, because it's going on my project. I don't want to have to make it a game. So I'm going to line those corners up. Lining those corners up, I can feel, if I put my fingers in a pinch of motion like a little crab, then you can feel. You can do it by feel. Even if your eyes are bad, you can do it by feel if that is on straight. Once that first bit's on straight, then the rest will follow. Okay, it'll be fine. Look, you can see that. Perfect. Now overlapping, it's perfect. So then I'm going to do the same on here. And I'm just going to, not too much glue. You don't want it all splodging out. Okay. If you find it easier to do your mat and layering before you glue this part on, you know, so that it's completely flat, then that's up to you. I'll be fine. Okay. Again, I'm feeling with my little crab fingers. And I can feel, because my eyes aren't perfect, and when you're working with black cardstock, it can sometimes be tricky. You know, you almost go colourblind. And then I'm checking at that side. It's all level. No, it's not perfectly level there. Let me just slide it. Double checking, because I want my work to be neat. And when it folds, I want it to fold nicely. I don't want it, if you don't have it right, and you don't have those flush, then when you fold it, your folds are going to refold themselves in the wrong place. And it's going to look a mess. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with that. So now that, when I've decorated it, okay, it's going to go on my front cover. So here's my front cover. It's going to fit top to bottom, so you can either have it at the side or centralise it, okay? Now, I haven't quite decided yet whether I'm going to just have it right up against there so that when it opens, or whether I'm going to put an eyelet closure there. I've not decided. Not decided. I think I'm going to do it right up against there, and then any closure I make, I can have coming around to here. So we're going to commit, okay, and we're going to glue that. In fact, we're not, because I need to put a line of paper there first. So I'm going to leave that with you. Go and have a go. I'm going to decorate mine. You may see it finished at the beginning of the thumbnail, but I'm away to do it now. When I've done it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what paper I'm going to use on my cover. Okay, I'm going to put a strip of paper here before I glue this on, so I've got nice tidy work. Okay, when I glue this on, okay, I think I might just glue it on 3 sides so that it's also a pocket. Either that, yeah, that might be nice. Yeah, I think I will. So I will be decorating that, and then I will be gluing it on 3 sides. I will be gluing it with making sure that I've got the same increment top, bottom, and at the side there, which is about just over 1/8 of an inch, so it'll look neat and tidy. Is it about 1/8 of an inch? It's just about 1/8 of an inch, okay? So I'm going to leave that with you. Sometimes I haven't thought of all the processes to show you, but we'll be doing another video, so I'll see you soon. Take care, bye for now.